Yeah, I think it was in it was 1976, probably about July or August. And Peter was there, Peter Wagner, and some of the other guys, and John, and they were in a huge conference of all Church of God pastors and leaders. And John called me up right after, it was kind of late at night. He called me up and he said, Carol, and he was crying. He said, Carol, he said, we've got to do something about the poor. And I said, okay, what? And he said, I've been in the conference, and the old evangelist so-and-so, who doesn't even have a voice anymore, he's blown his voice out, shouting all these years. And he was calling the people back to the poor, reminding them where they came from, how they used to go door to door and help people and wash their babies and clean their houses. And being poor themselves, they would share their little tiny houses with anyone else that needed anything. That was the soil that they came from. And he said, now you've got your cars and your big buildings and your big houses, and what about the poor? What about the poor? And John said, as that old man spoke in this hoarse voice, the people who were all just standing at that point, there must have been 5,000 or 6,000 of them, he said it was like a field of wheat. And as he would speak, just under the conviction of the Holy Spirit, their bodies would just sway back and forth, and as they'd say another thing, and they'd just sway back and forth. He said it looked like waves of wind going over the wheat. He said, it's the most powerful thing I've ever been a part of. And he said, if we ever start a church again, if God ever does that, I want the focus to be the poor. I said, okay, John. But that didn't leave him. That's been a part of it from the beginning. And when the church did eventually start, a few months later, half a year later, that was in his heart. And then Monty and Brandy came one day and said, we have a neighborhood where the people don't have anything, and Brandy just gave away all of our blankets and food. And John said, that's good. You just keep doing that. And then Brandy and Monty taught it to others, and everyone that's ever been a part of that never stops. The poor we always have with us. And it's our understanding that we need the poor. We need the poor the same way they need people that have. They need Christians, and we need the poor. We need to work out our salvation. And there's only two places available in this thing, and it's the haves and the have-nots. So if we decide we don't like the game, then we become the have-nots. That's my understanding. We either take our place, we that have, we take our place and we give away. And that goes with all of our Christian life. What we have, we give away. To those that don't have, then they can give away. So eventually, goes over the whole earth.